Hamza is a master's student studying behavioural neurobiology at Hokkaido University in Japan, and he's been playing electric guitar for 8 years and has been singing for the past 3 years, and he's also launched Biography Bits. And Humza joins us now, and you were just saying it's 5 o'clock in the morning, so you've got to be very quiet and whispering, aren't you?
Well, not to whisper, but I might not speak as loudly as I can.
Yes. Now, Biography Bits is a great idea because what you do is take extracts from biographies, don't you?
Exactly. So the point is that reading 500 pages, 600 pages, 1,000 pages, some people would take 5 to 10 hours, maybe 20 hours to read all of that. I know of some people, well, I don't know them personally, but I have seen some book reviews where people say they spent months reading just 1,000 pages.
Yeah.
And not everyone has the energy to do that, nor the motivation. It's very easy to procrastinate on that. But what if someone did that for you? And that someone made 5-minute articles, 2 to 5 minute articles explaining the core lessons. I think that would save so much time, and you would get the immediate benefits of biographies in just a few minutes instead of like dozens of hours.
Yeah.
So that was the idea behind it.
And there are so many great lessons that you can learn from biographies, aren't there? And as you say, nobody has the time to read thousands of words. So do you think you've managed to pick out the best bits for people?
I would say so, yes. I think the greatest lesson I've learned is that these people are also human.
Yeah.
Like, we tend to think, we see the success, the euphoria, we see them, let's just say, money Instagram is really popular, so you see cars and exotic estates. That's all we see. We start thinking these people are superhuman and they never have a worry in the world. But reading these biographies, I realize these people went through a lot of stress, a lot of hardships, a lot of hours spent failing until they finally hit it. Now, obviously not everyone. There are some people who were born into it, but for the most part, these people are human, just like me. So if they can do it, I can do it too. So that was the immediate, very impactful message I received.
What are some of your favourite biographies that you've read in your time?
That is a very difficult question. Okay, let's see. I think Phil Knight's biography, the founder of Nike, his biography was really telling. For most of the book, he mentions how he was in not constant debt, but very, very close to bankruptcy because his business was not always profitable. And he had several encounters with banks where he almost faced jail time as well. Then there was... I'm trying to think. Yeah, I've read quite a lot over the years. Tiger Woods. Yes, Tiger Woods' biography was amazing too. Because I have not really that much interest in golf, but I have heard Tiger's name. That means something for someone who had never heard of golf or never cared to look into golf.
Yes.
I know the name Tiger Woods. So he managed to be more than just a man. Tiger Woods is not a man anymore. He is golf.
Yeah.
When you think of his name, you think of golf. He's made such an impact. And another huge lesson I saw from his biography was that he's cold and ruthless in the golf. What do you call it? Golf court or golf park? Golf park.
Yeah, golf course.
Golf course, yes. So again, since I had never read of these people before, I thought you're at that level, you're very polite and you're very smiling all the time and very friendly. He was laser focused, ruthless. One of the quotes, I cannot remember it word to word, but it was that Tiger had only one goal in the golf course: to play without mercy. So now, this doesn't mean he was violent against people. It just meant that he completely ignored them and focused solely on golf when he was playing.
Yeah.
So that level of intense focus really made an impression on me.
Tiger Woods is just iconic because everybody knows him, don't you? You don't even have to know anything about golf. He's probably the most famous golfer in probably both our lifetimes.
I would agree. Now, this is a biography's opinion, but I think I agree with it. That it said that Tiger Woods is the most accomplished modern athlete in history across all sports.
Wow.
Now, as I read more and more biographies, I might change this opinion. But right now, I tend to agree with that.
And how long does it take for you to add an extract to biography bits? I mean, do you read the whole book?
Yes. Sometimes what I do is, if I find a really good lesson after reading, let's just say 100 pages, I stop reading, I create an 2-minute, 5-minute article, and then I continue reading again. In other cases, I read the entire book, I bookmark the important excerpts, and then I try to write batches of articles at one time. So at first, this was difficult, I agree. But after writing so much, now it just feels like I need 30 minutes to an hour to put out one article. The reason it takes me that long instead of like a few minutes is because I really want the message to be as impactful as possible. Because even 5 minutes is valuable time. Time is our most valuable resource.
Yeah.
Just because you're not spending dozens of hours does not mean that 5 minutes of your time is still not valuable. It is very valuable, in my opinion.
Yeah. And to save time, have you ever read a book whilst listening to an audiobook of another one at the same time?
I have heard many people recommend this, especially on YouTube. I have never tried it, but I might consider it. But the thing is, when I read audiobooks, I always listen to them at 2x speed, or sometimes 3 times the speed. My reading speed is not that fast yet, so I might have some trouble doing that. But I need to try that, yeah.
Maybe you need a special kind of brain to do it, I think, because if I was to read a book and listen to a different book at the same time, I wouldn't be able to follow them both.
Wait. So reading book A and listening to book B.
Yeah.
Is that what?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That is not. No, I cannot do that. I thought you meant book A ebook and book A audiobook at the same time.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do. But is there a point in that if you can read anyway?
I see.
Now, you've got a premium newsletter for Biography Bits. What made you want to set up the newspaper?
Since I am spending all this time reading these biographies, I thought that I want to share these lessons, but sharing these lessons would require other people to read all these biographies as well. Now, imagine, I have read about 15 to 20 so far, and I'm reading even more, but imagine buying 15 and 20 books. That would cost you at least $100 or more. Plus, even let's just say you somehow got the books without all that money. Let's just say you somehow got a discount for $30, $40.
Yeah.
Now you have to sit down and collectively read 5,000 pages or more. Like, even if money wasn't an issue, time is an issue.
Yeah.
You could spend months. Some people who are slow readers might take years to finish all just 15 to 20 biographies. And then another difficulty is finding the lessons in the first place. Some of these lessons are very well hidden. It's in the way these people speak, the way these people's attitudes are. So not only is it money, not only is it time, now you have to try to find lessons that maybe you might fail to spot them in the first place. So the problem is threefold. But what if, through this newsletter, if someone took away those thousands of hours, the thousands of pages, and all those time investments, and that person said, okay, why not make this $5 a month? I will read all the biographies. I will read all the thousands of pages. All you have to do is spend 5 minutes every day. So that's the idea behind it. In 5 minutes, I can help people make the same transformation that took me years to do.
The newsletter is very cheap as well. You say it's the price of a McDonald's meal, but it's actually less than that in this country anyway.
I actually did not know that. So I checked multiple places, and I found a McDonald's meal is about $5, but yeah, it might be.
I think it's like 6 here, but I suppose it depends if you're going large or not and what you're getting.
I guess, yeah, that's true. The reason I said a McDonald's meal is because it makes it easy for people to visualize.
Yeah.
Just $5 is hard to visualize for some, but if I tell someone instead of $5, it is, let's just say you don't drink coffee, an expensive coffee, instead of just one coffee for the day, you get the newsletter. So
yeah.
It makes it easier to compare, in my opinion.
And do you think it has a similar effect to coffee, like it makes you energized somehow and ready for the day?
Yes, it does. That I agree with. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Suddenly it doesn't feel like this impossible thing, personal success. And when I say success, it's not just money. Like, some of my personal successes have been learning to play the guitar, learning to sing, or, well, studying in a foreign country. These are personal successes, not really related to money. So biographies not only make you like a financially successful, they make you personally successful. In fact, waking up an hour early can be considered a success.
Yeah.
Drinking 2 glasses of water a day when you wake up in the morning is personal success. It's just that these things compound, and suddenly, without you realizing it, your entire life has been transformed.
Yeah. Now, as well as Biography Bits, you've also became a bit of a musician, because in the last couple of years, you've became proud of your singing, and you weren't really initially, were you?
Exactly. So I posted something to this effect on Biography Bits, that I am brave enough to believe in myself. The reason I said that is we hear a lot of times that you should believe in yourself and you really should believe you can make it. I thought the same thing, but looking deeper into it, I would genuinely ask myself, do I really believe this? Like, actually, deep down my soul, do I believe in myself? And that is a very scary thing to realize, because then you see that actually, no, like all these like problems I've had is because I don't believe in myself. Because believing in myself would require bravery. Believing in myself would mean starting something like Biography Bits. There's the fear that it might not be accepted, or people might not look into it, or people might be offended by it in some way. Then there's guitar. If I believe in myself, then I will be willing to make the hundreds of mistakes I made on my guitar journey. Singing is the worst in this. Imagine trying to sing in public when you've never done so.
Yeah.
Like, I hated my voice, but it required bravery to believe in myself, to push through. In fact, the first 2 years of my singing, I used to practice every day and I was horrible. Only a few months ago, I became really good. So being able to go years and years without almost no progress while sounding bad requires a lot of courage
Yes.
to believe in yourself to go on. So bravery is really linked to belief. And asking myself that every single day, I realize, actually, now I can confidently say, yes, I do believe in myself. Instead of just saying it because you're supposed to say you believe in yourself. That it's not that, it's a much deeper feeling now, in my opinion.
Yeah. And why do you think it is that so many people lack motivation or are scared of doing what they want to do and be who they are?
I think it is... This is always a difficult question for me to answer. I think it is false expectations and lack of self-esteem. Yeah, lack of self-esteem, because many people don't really like themselves. It sounds like a very simple thing, but really, you have to like yourself and be proud of yourself before you can start to do these amazing things. So look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, okay, the person I see right now is the greatest friend in the world. This person will not let me down no matter what. Because other people, you do not control them, you do not control their actions. So I'm not saying they're bad people because of it. I mean, everyone has their own lives to figure out first, their own lives to take care of. But the man or woman you see in the mirror, that's the person who will never leave your side. So developing that relationship with yourself is the first step. The second step is the expectations. This is where Biography Bits comes in. I was very averse to hard work before because I did not realize that how important it is. But seeing people like this spend hundreds of hours a week, well, not all of them spend hundreds of hours, but almost hundreds of hours a week while failing multiple times, but still going on, being in debt, being ridiculed by people. So now I understood, okay, so this is what it takes. So before I had this idea that, yes, work hard and rest as well, work-life balance. I know it's controversial, but I would ask myself, where do I want to be? Who is where I want to be? What are their habits? And do I have those habits? If the answer is no, then it becomes clear that, okay, so I now know what I need to do. So creating the realistic expectation increased my motivation, I think.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that many people are lacking as well.
Well, what are your goals and ambitions for the not too distant future and the distant future indeed?
My main goal now is Biography Bits, making this into like something that when people think of the name Biography Bits, they realize, oh, I know what that is. To have not just viewers and not just buyers, but fans who believe in the concept. In the very distant future, I want to change the culture surrounding reading biographies. I want people to start reading biographies to extract lessons that sometimes self-development books cannot fully display. Self-development books are also my favorite, but one thing they lack in is they tell you the principles, they do not tell you how someone used those principles. Like, let's just say, one of my favorite books is Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy. He mentions a lot about how important hard work is. He says that success can come fast, but that does not mean it can come easy. Fast and easy are very different things. You still might have to spend dozens and dozens of hours and fail a lot. This principle I fully believe in. But the impact of this principle I did not feel until I started reading biographies. Now it's not just, okay, I read this from a book. No, I have read stories of people applying this from a book now. Now it makes sense to me. I can visualize it. So that's the ultimate goal, to create a movement of people reading biography books.
Yeah. Well, where are we able to find Biography Bits and keep up to date with everything else that you're getting up to?
Well, that's the easiest thing in the world. So in Instagram, I was lucky to get the exact handle, Biography Bits. That is BIOGRAPHY BITS. If you just search that on Instagram, you'll find it. In the bio, you'll also find my personal Instagram if someone feels like following. I do post there occasionally as well, but be warned, I post a lot in Japanese, so some viewers might not understand a word I'm saying.
Well, many thanks for talking to us today, and I'll let you either get back to sleep or get back to the rest of the day. It's the kind of time at night where I'm not sure if you're up early or up late.
Oh, since I'm up early, I'm gonna go get straight back to work. This is the moment I can gain an advantage over the rest of my competition. So.